Well, I'm hopefully welcoming you back to the Useless Wisdom Podcast, the only place you come when you need to get your mind off of some dumb shit and onto some other different dumb shit. Last episode, me and Jamie about got into a full-on extreme bloody bare knuckles cage match featuring more than 2 pigeons over whether or not college is a smart decision. We also tried to figure out why people still believe in religion, but I think we both came to the same conclusion on that one. Luckily, I have a guest lined up within a few weeks that might be able to enlighten us when it comes to religion. But that was last week, and this week I have a very, very exciting guest. The one, the beautiful, I mean only, same person we had last week, Jamie Schaffer. Yeah. Not gonna clap for yourself? Who is currently also a SJW. Watch your comments. All right, well, first up, Russ had some comments on that podcast that we had the other day, and they weren't targeted at any specific person. It definitely wasn't me that they were targeted at. They were targeted at somebody else. Anyway, I took a screenshot so I could read you the comments that he left. You ready for this? Do you remember what last podcast was about?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you argued about whether or not the art degree is useless. And you said, no, I think that, very few degrees are pointless and art degree isn't one of them. Because I made the comment.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. All right. Well, you got it. Well, he says art degree is basically a waste of money. Look at the market demand and choose on that.
Okay.
You have no comments?
No.
No comments about what he said about you.
I don't care.
I guess that really wasn't targeted about to anybody. I don't know how much of last podcast you remember. Jamie is right about hands-on experience. For my wife to get a doctorate degree, she actually had to cut open a dead body and study the insides.
Okay, I knew I was right about that.
Okay, but we both said the thing about hands-on experience. Although, I don't think you'd be able to cut up a dead body, unless you go to college. That's a little different, okay? I think that his wife is a physical therapist or something like that. I'm not entirely sure.
It's probably something in medicine.
Yeah, it might be something in medicine too. I'm not 100% sure. Next comment, though, is Brian is right. Employers want to hire someone cheaper. If you know what you're doing without a degree, they will hire the cheaper guy instead. Not in all cases. In the end, it's all about the employer's bottom line.
Okay, he sold it to me. I'm going to drop out.
Well, I mean, I tried to argue that point and you didn't agree with it. So the next comment, though, I commented back to see what he was talking about, and he didn't say anything back yet, but he said, Jamie went in deep. Freaking loved it. Do you know what you went in deep about?
Probably the religion part. Like the last part that we said.
Well, he said some other stuff about the religion part, so I'm not entirely sure if that's what it is.
I don't know. He didn't answer.
Jamie is very unversed in Christianity. She hasn't studied it and is only believing what others say. Christianity was created in the times of Pentecost. Yeah, whatever, dude. Years after the death of Christ, or the death of Jesus. But this can be discussed at another time. Don't worry, Jamie. I won't throttle you.
Well, I might like being throttled, to be honest. But I was just speaking from my experience in the church when I was younger. So that's what I was basing that off of. I haven't picked up anything from anybody else. This is just my personal opinions that I've had, from being raised in a very religious household and stuff. So I apologize for being uneducated. I can do more research and get back to whoever that is on some more thoughts. But I did have some sort of, background in religion. Not a lot, but some. And I just developed my own thoughts on it. I didn't mean it. I didn't want to come off as like somebody who, knows all about it, because I don't. And I admit that. But, I already had my own thoughts about it.
Yeah, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't mean to come off as like a know-it-all about it, because I don't know everything about it, but I know like a little bit.
I don't think that's what what he was trying to say. But I did comment back, and I was like, Jamie and I both aren't very adept in Christianity. We have both read countless books on and research on Greek and Egyptian mythology. But neither of us have really read the Bible. We just know some stuff about the Bible.
Well, that's, they were saying, like, I don't remember exactly what they said, but, like, it kind of seemed like, they thought that, I was trying to roll over into, like, include everybody's thoughts that have been told to me and everything into my opinions about religion, when that wasn't the case, because everybody that I've, been raised around and talked to are extremely religious, and I have this other opinion, an unpopular opinion on it.
Well, I think that it doesn't matter whether you were trying to incorporate other things that people have told you into your opinion, because it's still going to be in your opinion, because that's in your head.
I mean, I guess.
The last comment here is that line of Jamie's where she said, "Leave me out and have just you so you can beat off to it later." That had me rolling. And that was when I was like, we were talking, and you were like, "What, are you going to cut me out?" Because I said I had a lot of editing to do on this podcast. And you're like, "Wait, what, are you going to cut me out?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that was. But something weird that I don't think that you're going to care about,
Okay.
not even a little bit, was my personal channel, just Brian Shrout, hit 400 subscribers today.
That's a huge milestone, buddy.
Well, when I quit making videos, it was at 300.
You have another 100 subscribers because of your car videos, and people were stuck in quarantine and wanted to work on their cars.
Probably, and I don't think that I should have quit making those videos, or I think that I should have continued making those videos, because I probably could have built my channel up, kept that Jeep.
You didn't want that Jeep.
Yeah.
But now you want that Jeep again.
People change their mind.
I told you were going to regret it before you sold it.
The thing literally, it was jacked up and had big tires on it, and it got like 6-7 miles a gallon.
And whose fault was that? Just
wanted it to look good, Jamie. I mean, like, I had to...
Yeah,
I didn't fit in with the yee-yees, and I needed to fit in with the yee-yees when I was going to high school.
You still didn't fit in with the yee-yees after you did that, but you
That is a lie.
No, you didn't.
That is a
You didn't.
fucking lie.
You didn't.
Okay, why didn't I do that? And you need to get closer to the mic. I don't know why you keep leaning back.
Because it's comfortable that way.
Yeah.
You didn't fit in with the yee-yees because you were that SoundCloud rapper that wore the gold chain, and you always said nasty stuff to the yee-yee kids and didn't get along with them.
Moving on.
Yeah.
I found out that we hit 400 subscribers today because I just randomly went on my channel because it said I had a notification. For some reason, it still shows notifications of subscribers, but it doesn't with any of my other channels. Either way, I went on because I got a notification, and I decided to go through the comments and see, like, well, I wonder what people are engaging with. And obviously, it was those fucking Jeep videos. That's where all the views come from, is the Jeep videos and the other car videos that I did, like tinting your windows and all that other crap. In honor of the 400 subscribers that's on that channel, I decided to go through some of the comments and reply to the good fans out there of the Jeep videos, right? Well, there's a bunch of them in spam, and I was just going to go through and clear them all. This guy's got marked as spam, and it is literally the best comment that I've ever read, I think, that on this channel. Now, do you remember when I went through the phase of reading all these books of like self-help books and binge watching Gary Vee and started making those videos? So this was on one of those videos. This guy commented and said, "Did you hack YouTube? I paused the video and I'm still listening to you saying you felt like you were a piece of shit and you are a piece of shit and don't like the sound of your own voice." And then his comment actually starts. This is like a long paragraph. Guy's name is Taze Cardi. All right, go give him some subscribers because he deserves it from this. "Hey man, I think there is an important thing that you need to think about. Most people..." Oh my God, I'm freaking dyslexic. Okay. "Hey man, I think there is an important thing you need to think about. Most people think they have a social contract with themselves where they can just be as abusively can just talk as abusive as they want to themselves and it's fine. That's absolutely not true. A few years back, I thought of the idea of considering yourself as two people. One, the one who speaks internally and makes plans. Two, the one who tries to carry out the plans and can't speak back. You are always stuck with yourself. You are your best friend. You are your best friend ever, for better or for worse. So imagine the person you love the absolute most. Would you say to them, 'What the fuck, you stupid piece of shit? Why didn't you do better? Fuck, you are so fucking stupid and useless.' Wisdom." Plug. You can say it's different to speak to yourself than it is to speak to others, but you are a person equally as others around you. If you care about justice and what is right, then sorry, I just heard you say you are the only one that can help yourself. And like I said, I paused the video, so I still don't know where the fuck this audio is coming from. The only one who cares about you is yourself. If you wouldn't talk to the person you love the most in the world like that, you shouldn't talk to yourself with your internal voice that way. You should be critical and point out mistakes, but you should be constructive and encouraging. You are your own lifelong roommate. You always hear yourself, but you don't have to listen when you speak because your emotion and effort hears what you say. If you just press down on it all the time with no love, you are never going to be as great as you could be. And if you guys are wondering why I'm reading this so slow, is because I'm trying to correct words as I go through, because a lot of the stuff is, I don't know if it's not like an English speaker or what. Where are we at? But you have to compromise with yourself and be fair and build yourself up. Set challenges and criticize yourself for not achieving them. But don't flood your inner voice with, "You didn't achieve this goal. You are a worthless piece of shit." I don't know you, but I love you and care about you and hope you are okay. I honestly just went to your channel because I was recommended a video where your girlfriend, I assume, handed you a Nerf gun and you didn't think she did it right, and I wanted to tease you for that. And the comments were disabled. And then I saw how your channel dried up and I started making a comment and then paused the video to focus on my comment. And the tab that had this video was giving some monologue about I guess about how you are your own barrier to being better. And that is true, but you can't be better just by hating the worst in you. You really need to nurture the good parts of you. Encourage the drive in you and say, "Yeah, there you go," more often, but unless it is only sometimes and playfully, don't say, "Fuck you, you fucked up, you're a piece of shit." If you don't laugh with yourself when you say that and encourage yourself regularly, aside from that, you are killing your spirit. And I don't mean in a crystal way. I'm a scientific person. I mean I mean it in a spirit-driven way. I don't know if you'll ever see this. I don't know if you even check this account or still use it. I hope you do, and I hope you consider what I said. Too many times writing hope, but I hope you are okay.
I'm pretty sure he thought that you were killing yourself or you killed yourself.
Yeah, when he said the thing about the you need to get closer to the mic. When he said the thing about your channel drying up, yeah, you can scoot back a little bit. You're real close to the mic now. You think he's got some truth to what he's saying?
Truth?
Yes.
That's
all you got to say about it?
Well, I figured that you had another long monologue.
No, I didn't. I mean, I commented back to him and just said, YouTube strike this as spam, so I never got to see it. This was 2 months ago that he wrote that. I just said, like, really felt your words, and it means a lot.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy's name's Taze Cardi. I told him that, continue helping people because you really have a knack for it. That was some of the best advice that, most of the comments, it's easier to hate nowadays than it is to love. Most of your comments on Instagram or YouTube, they're going to be negative. It's a negative world.
Yeah, it is.
With that sentimentalness out of the way, I'm going to go through some of the comments on the Clips channel, and we're going to talk about them for a little bit, but I want to ask if Mark Edwards Pizanowski is okay.
Apologies if he butchered that name.
Pizanowski is what it says.
Okay.
But either way, he was freaking me out, and I commented like every time that he commented like 17 times on the same video, and then he commented a couple more times on other random videos saying some random stuff, and I'm just like, you really sounding like Alex Jones to me, man. Are you okay? So I can just read it how it goes, I guess. That video had a clip of where, I think it was the first episode where we were talking about what does it mean to be intelligent. He said, "So true, I'm bright and I'm miserable because I realize how effed up the world is. Ignorance truly is bliss." Then a couple other people commented on it and said, "The world is weird, full of mystery and secrets. We don't know where we came from. Our scientific knowledge can only go so far." He commented back, "Our knowledge is limited" and stuff. I didn't think about anything there. Then he started going like, saying some really, really rude comments. And, if this kid is so smart, then why the hell is he going to a therapist anyway? That guy is just going to make him dumb. Because I talked about me going to a therapist in that video.
There's nothing wrong with going to therapy, for one.
Well, Jacob's argument with that whole therapist, yeah, you can't trust.
Jacob is literally the dumbest person I know. All right. And I don't.
No, that really goes far.
I don't care. Yeah, I know. Look at who I'm related to.
Jacob was saying some stuff about, well, you don't want to conform, but going to a therapist is basically making you conform because they're making you, I guess you would say, like an extension of their selves, trying to normalize you. And that's not true even a little bit.
It's not.
However,
at all.
If maybe he was talking about therapy and or like getting help in a sense of medication.
Sometimes medication for mental illnesses is necessary at some points. Because there's a lot of individuals that have chemical imbalances that make them extremely aggressive or, bipolar and extremely depressive. And there's nothing that therapy can really do for that in the long run, in which case medication would make the person stable. And mental stability is everything. You need to be mentally stable or you're not going to survive.
Yeah. So Yeah, he said that. Why the hell is he going to a therapist anyway? Jacob also said that.
Yeah, but he also made the comment about ignorance being bliss. So you going to the therapist and the therapist making you dumb would make you happier.
Yeah, that's what we talked about in the episode, was that if you were, for lack of a better term, more stupid, life would be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Being stupid than being smart. That was the whole point that I was trying to get
Yeah, I
across
know.
with
I
that
was saying that
podcast.
he contradicted himself
What?
because his
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying. I got you. With that comment that he said, why is he going to a therapist anyway? And he's like, I just commented back and said, damn, can you stop roasting the shit out of me? It feels good to talk to someone who doesn't know who you are. His next comment says, did Einstein, Bach, Beethoven, anybody who ever did anything, Graham Bell, did Tesla, did anybody, any intelligence ever follow the rules and fucking conform? F the rules. F the rules.
I'm sure that they followed rules to some extent. I mean,
Well, if they did something and they weren't in jail, so they followed the rules to an extent.
that's what I'm saying. But also, you know,
Do you want me to read that comment again? Just because I don't think people got it. I'll just read the comment again.
no.
Did Einstein, Bach, Beethoven, anybody who ever did anything, did Graham Bell, did Tesla, did anybody, any intelligence ever follow the rules and fucking conform? F the rules, F the rules. Are you looking something up right now or what?
Yeah.
What are you looking up? I'll just go ahead and read the next comment. You know, my comment back to the F the rules thing. Started reading through some of your comments, man. Are you okay? You're sounding like Alex Jones, and I kind of want to have you on an episode.
He's just tripping on DMT.
But he didn't reply to me when I said, "Hey, I want to have you on an episode." You
Because
can act like this.
He obviously hates you.
Well, yeah, I go to a therapist. He fucking hates my guts. And then he just said Ben Franklin was the biggest rebel of them all. And just so you guys know, if I told you the clips that they were on, I don't know what videos these comments were on, but even if I told you, these wouldn't make sense.
I think he's just going for it. He's sending it and he doesn't care.
All right. Well, I just want to ask, is this Mark Edwards Pizanowski, is he okay, you think?
I think he's just got some, rage that he needs to go to a therapist for to work through.
Okay. I want to give a huge shout out to a guy that comments on the podcast clips channel a lot. No idea who he is, but he consistently comments and, replies to his comments and stuff. His name's Raylist, and I think me and him are very similarly. Can you say it for me?
Similarly
minded, and I think I'm going to leave Jamie for him.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
Are you pimping me out?
I said I'm going to leave you for him.
Oh, I thought... Never mind. I thought like you were leaving me in your will for this guy to take over after you're dead.
Would you prefer that?
No.
Okay. Also, his comments aren't really entirely based on the episode or whatever either. So, I didn't screenshot what video these are from. He says, what if in life we don't have as much control as we think we do? We are at the mercy of the unknown. Who knows, maybe one day your eyes will lay on the truth and be like, fuck, that's crazy. I commented back and said, how come you always have the best comments? And are you referring to fate or some other unknown variable? And he says, I think it's possible that life-changing events are fate. I hope it's fate because what that means is that there's a reason why things happen and the way they do. It's also possible that everything is random and no reason. I like it reasonable. So do you believe in fate?
I want to, but I don't think that I do.
Is there a reason? Because you can't prove religion, but people believe in that. So do you have faith that fate is real?
No, because I really do believe that everything is just randomness.
And you have free will?
I don't know about... I don't know. I don't think that we necessarily have free will, but I don't think that, everything going on in the world is, due to fate. There has to be a cause.
Well, let me throw out this argument. All right, so if we're talking about fate, you don't think that we have free will, then...
It has to happen for a reason.
And the reason is...
The government controls everything.
The pigeons.
Aren't real.
Oh, well, not having free will is because of things that happened in your childhood that shaped who you are. So if someone asked you something like, what is your favorite color? You know that right off the top of your head because things that happened in your past. Do you see where I'm trying to connect the dots here?
I don't think that you're doing it properly with colors.
Well, I mean, I can't really think of a better example that's that straightforward. It's the things that happen in your childhood are shaping who you are right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understood that part.
Okay. And in that sense, free will isn't like we don't have free will. And if these events in your past are affecting you now, then what does that mean?
I don't know.
They're affecting you now, and that's why you don't have free will. Then obviously you would also have to believe in fate.
I don't know. I kind of think that fate is just another thing that people believe in to comfort themselves.
Oh, it's definitely a comfort thing.
Because,
if you can't prove it.
Well, people dying and stuff like that, people always say, oh, there's always a reason for it. There's always a plan, blah, blah, blah.
They're in a better place.
They're in a better place. It's all a comfort thing because people don't want to believe that they live in a world where randomness and chaos are what rule it.
Man, I just keep drawing a blank. Every time I'm trying to think of something, I just keep drawing a blank.
You're thinking too hard.
Had something. It's just so hot in here, I think.
Open the window.
I can't.
Why can't you open the window?
It'll be really loud in here. I don't want that.
It's not going to be loud. You have the blanket over top of it.
It'll be fine. Then there's no air going to come in.
Quit bitching about it then.
All right. Do you know you remember when Brandon was talking about like murders, okay?
Murders?
Murder is okay.
Okay.
Do you remember when he said that? He's like, well, I think some people should get murdered and some people shouldn't. Do you remember when he said that?
No.
It was the big podcast that we all did together.
I didn't listen to half the shit he said because he was trying to turn everything into a joke.
I don't know. I think he had some points, but
the whole lesbian
I think that's
thing.
Okay, that was good. I don't care what you say. That was good.
That entire podcast he was acting like Jacob.
It gave me a lot of content. Now, the next comment that we have from Raylist again is people are forgetting we are all temporary in this life. Some might die today, some might live and die 70 years from now. Who cares? The ending is death. You can make plans, but it doesn't matter who you are. If it's your time to be struck down, then it's time. I said that this hasn't showed up in an episode yet, meaning the topic that he's trying to talk about hasn't showed up into an episode yet, but you have to find something that gives your life meaning. Everyone's one thing could be different. It's either that or always have a miserable outlook on, or always feel miserable due to the cynical outlook you'll have on life. Yeah, I just said thanks for commenting. He says, sometimes it seems like all we can do is sit and wait to see what the future has for us. I say just follow the rules, play the game of life. It's not our show. The maze that we call life is not the maze we built. We are meant to walk that maze and stay on the path. There's a lot of things that are out of our control. We can only look up to a higher power. So now I'm thinking that he might be religious to some extent. And I think that he's religious because it gives him hope.
Purpose.
And that kind of swings full circle and makes you wonder,
what?
Like what we talked about in the last episode. Like
Okay,
it makes you wonder if religion is just a comfort thing.
That's what I said.
Like someone made it up years ago to help others.
Okay.
And is that not what religion is all about? It's helping others.
I guess at its core meaning.
Kind of swings full circle here, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. I love how you just try to look at me and make me read your mind and it doesn't work and then you get upset about it.
Well, I figured you would have caught what I was laying down there.
No. I wouldn't have said it right and you would have been like, that's not what I'm talking about.
I don't understand, like, why you get close to the mic like this and then you go like this.
Because this chair isn't comfortable. Give me the other chair.
This one isn't comfortable either, Jamie.
You made me take this chair back.
What did you have anything to say about that comment that he had?
I mean, if he believes in a higher power and, you know, believes in faith and, or fate and all that stuff, then good on him. I don't really have anything to comment on it because I'm the opposite.
I think that the longer that you go without believing in a religion, the longer that you have that cynical outlook. It's so easy to throw science out the window. I don't really have an expression for it, but fall head over heels for a religion.
Because it's comforting and it's less scary than the facts that are laid out by science.
So is it braver to conform into a religion or braver to take on the cynical outlook and be miserable?
You don't have to be miserable and have a cynical outlook and not believe in a religion. People can be happy without religion.
And I know that you're not saying that out of experience.
I'm perfectly fine.
You say you're depressed all the time.
That's not because I don't have religion.
I think that a lot
I was depressed while I was, religious as well.
You told us last podcast that you weren't religious.
I also said last podcast that I grew up in a church setting. I didn't get out of it until I was about 12 years old.
So you don't really have a good grasp on what life would be like with religion versus without.
Do you think that I was unconscious until I was 12 years old?
That's how my life pretty much goes. Like, I can only remember bits and pieces from before I was like 14.
I think that you may have been molested or something and you just shut out everything before you were 14.
Could be.
I remember, before I was 12 years old, so.
Okay, whatever you say. I think that we're going to end this podcast here, since this is probably about the time that normal people would be making it to work. It's probably take about 40 minutes, don't you think? Make it to work and stuff. No, you
Was that all you had?
Yeah. I mean, I think that was a pretty good podcast.
Okay.
All right, fine. It was a shitty podcast. I'm sorry. It's the day before it needs to release.
Okay.
I keep doing that, and I don't know why I keep doing that, but I just stress myself out.
You had 5 days off. You had plenty of time.
I couldn't see.
You could see the last 3 days.
I got LASIK, if you guys are wondering. We'll see you guys in the next episode. I hope this was enough for you, even though we are recording it literally the day before it needs to release. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This is Brian from the Useless Wisdom Podcast, and we will see you guys in the next episode, where we might just be the first podcast ever to be recorded while we're fishing, if I can figure that out. Brandon had that idea, and I was like, I've never seen another podcast do that either. So see you guys in the next one.
Why do you still say that?
Peace.